Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today we're gonna look at the Huawei Nova 2i, or the Huawei Mate 10 Lite, and how it holds up today. Originally released back in October 20th, 2017, it had a retail price of $300 and made it a compelling product, having an 18 by 9 display, 4 cameras, 2 at the rear and 2 at the front, a mid-range CPU, and an all-metal unibody design. Up front is the 5.9-inch 1080p Full HD display with a resolution of 2160 by 1080 and a pixel density of 408 pixels per inch. It is plenty sharp, colors are vibrant, and the brightness level is enough for outdoor use. At the back, you can definitely see the age of the phone, since it has a lot of scuff marks and a lot of scratches. Also at the back, you can see the antenna bands, the dual camera setup, a fingerprint scanner, and an LED flash. The camera setup is a 16 megapixel shooter with an f2.2 aperture paired with a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera for taking portrait pictures. Let's talk about that dual camera setup. It's actually stacked on top of each other, which looks like the setup used on the iPhone 10 and the other 10 models after it. The pictures it takes are vibrant, sharp, but sometimes too sharp due to the image processing built into the phone. Pictures tend to be a tad overexposed, making it look too bright, but overall, the colors are pretty accurate. With decent lighting conditions, most is very minimal. With low lighting conditions, it's a different story. The camera tends to brighten up the pictures, causing it to be grainy, and sometimes the pictures end up with a lot of noise. Though the phone's image processing tries to fix that, the photos end up with a lot of smudges since the phone tries to smoothen the picture. There is a built-in night mode, which is useful if you have a tripod with you or steady hands, because if you don't have it, it won't really work. But if you do manage to take a steady picture with the night mode on, then you can have a decent low light pictures with decent accuracy, decent sharpness, etc. Up front, there is the earpiece, LED notification light, and another dual camera setup. This time with a 13 megapixel main shooter paired with another 2 megapixel depth sensing camera. Now, this camera is a bit weird since it tries again to brighten the background and also has this weird always on beautification mode that tends to smoothen out the subject's face. At the bottom, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, a micro USB port, a downward facing speaker, and also a mic. Now, the speaker doesn't get that really loud, and at max volumes, the output is tinny with not a lot of bass and clarity, but overall, it is a decent speaker. Now, let's talk about the build quality. Since it's all built from metal, it does get kind of slippery in the hands, and since it's only 7.5 millimeters thin, it will slide out of your pocket from time to time. Good thing Huawei provides you with a free case out of the box, making it easier to hold and less slippery in the hands. Even with a 5.9-inch display, it's still comfortable to hold and surprisingly easy to get from corner to corner, and that says a lot since I myself have tiny hands. On the right side of the phone, we have the volume rocker, and beneath that is the power button, and they're easily reachable and clicky, preventing any accidental pushes. On the right side of the phone, there is the hybrid Nano's card tray, something like that, which house the Nano SIM card and a SD card or two Nano SIM cards. Now, how about the performance? This phone is using Huawei's HiSilicon Kirin 659, which is a 60nm process, making it a few generations old. When the phone was released, it had a mid-range performance, and that HiSilicon Kirin 659 is more comparable to say, Snapdragon 625. It does play games smoothly, though graphically intensive games should be set from medium to low, as PUBG Mobile does automatically set the graphics to low, but any lighter titles can be played from medium to high with minimal hiccups. For day-to-day usage, the phone runs smoothly, albeit for some minor hiccups from time to time. For example, switching between apps quickly can sometimes cause the phone to lag or bug down. Opening apps are quick, for example, opening Google, Instagram, Twitter, Chrome, etc. It opens up pretty quickly. But some games do take time to open. The UI overall does run smoothly, though frame rates aren't always constant, but there are no complaints there. When the phone was launched, it had a EMUI 5.1 on top of Android Nougat, but it was later on upgraded to EMUI 8 on top of Android Oreo. And since then, there were security patches from time to time dealing with certain bugs and heating issues. And yes, there are heating issues. A lot of our Nova 2i users did complain about this, but Huawei was quickly to make a move and fix that issue. There was an announcement that Honor 9i and the Huawei Nova 2i will get an EMUI 9 based on Android Pie update, but it is said that it will receive the update after the EMUI 9.1 update on other Huawei devices had finished. Next up is the battery life. Inside it, it has a 3340 mAh battery. For comparison, the Galaxy Note 8 had a 3300 mAh battery. Now, yes, the Galaxy Note 8 is a few years old, and also before that, the Galaxy Note 7 had some battery issues. But as context, the Nova 2i does have a pretty great battery life. With light to moderate use of the phone, it will typically last me at the end of the day or sometimes even some the day after. But with a more intensive use of it, for example, gaming or GPS, it'll typically last me 5 to 6 hours of usage. And that in itself is pretty good. For a year and a half old phone, that is due to Huawei's intensive app management, but it's okay since apps do open up pretty quickly. Overall, the phone is great, with a lot of features, and for its price, you can actually pick one up now for about $200 or about 11,000 pesos brand new. But you can have it lower if you buy it in the used market. It'll typically sell for about $180 or 9,000 pesos. But do I recommend it as your daily driver today? Personally, no. Lately, there has been a lot of more phones released by major companies like Samsung, Huawei, Oppo, and Vivo that has the same or more features for less money. And also it being a year old for a mid-range, there's not a lot of life on it. Or should I say not a lot updates coming for it. Now I'm not saying it's a waste of money or it's not a great phone. For the Huawei Nova 2i users out there, don't worry, it's still a great phone, but I just can't recommend it to be purchased new. But you can purchase it, say, a secondary phone or a backup phone. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button, and comment down below your thoughts about it. Goodbye.